Hi, I'm Carissa, Continuous Improvement Consultant here at CONNSTEP. Today we are interviewing Rachele to answer some of those commonly asked questions around ISO. Rachele, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Happy to be here. I am currently a consultant for CONNSTEP in the quality management systems. I was a quality manager for 15 years and in manufacturing that whole time. And the companies that I worked for, we ran various quality systems, AS9100, ISO 13485, ISO 9001, and NADCAP. So I just wanted to help some other people that are maybe coming into quality for the first time or need a refresher to kind of understand what ISO is and what it means to your company to have a certification.
All right, so let's jump into it. What is ISO?
So ISO is an international organization for standardization. It is a document that was put together by various people to try and standardize how companies would operate. The best way to describe it is that it maintains, it creates consistency, and it flows throughout the entire business. It is not just a quality system that only the quality department works with. It is a standard that everybody in the company benefits from. You have processes and procedures in place that help people to understand how the business operates. It's been around since 1947, and it had 67 technical committees and group experts focusing on different aspects of the industry. And it's mainly used for manufacturing, and it's for a small company, it's for a large company. It really doesn't matter as long as you have the resources to be able to support the quality management system.
Okay. So what does it mean to be ISO certified?
So to be certified, it means that you have been audited by a third-party registrar, which we call a CB audit. That company that will come in and audit you will actually have their own accreditation by ISO. They need to be accredited, and what they do is they will come in and they will conduct an audit to make sure that you're working to the procedures that were put in place to fulfill the requirements of the ISO standard. It can, like I said before, it can be a small company, it can be a large company. It fits, you build your system to fit your business needs. And what this means to external customers and even your internal customers is that you're maintaining that consistency with different people in the same department. It's a great training tool to use for training, and it really describes how the business is supposed to operate.
So now, why would a company consider this? What are the benefits of being ISO certified?
So the benefits of being ISO certified, there are financial aspects of it. There are grants and things like that helping with getting the implementation. But mainly what it does is once you have your CB audit and you go through the audit, there's a common system called OASIS that your information gets loaded into. And what that is your OEMs and larger customers can go onto this OASIS and find suppliers that are ISO certified. It gives them a sense of ease when knowing that you have a certification on file, because that means that you have a system in place that is meeting all of the requirements of the different standards.
Okay. So now how does a company go about this journey?
So there are various ways. One way is that CONNSTEP has a lot of opportunities to implement. We have different classes and things like that to get people on board and understand what is required of them if they're just coming into quality. Typically, you start with an implementation. People can try to implement on their own, or they can call in a consultant that will help them along the way, or they will do it themselves. And then once the implementation has happened, there's a few things that need to happen before you have your CB audit. But then you would contact a registrar, one that is certified and has had their own certification, to come in and to audit you and to let you know if there are any, what I call them, holes in the system that need to be addressed a little bit deeper than the original implementation. Those are called findings. So there's various companies out there, but you just always want to make sure that certification body is also certified.
Can you let me know a little bit more about implementations and what that consists of for a company?
Sure. So the implementation process is we basically go in and see what kind of system, if there is anything already existing within the company. If there is something that's existing, then we can draw, build upon that system that's already in place. If there isn't, then we start from scratch. And what we basically do is we go through the entire ISO standard, whether it be 9001, the general requirements, or ISO 13485, which is for the medical industry, or AS 9100, which is for aerospace. We would go through the standard, each clause, and determine whether a procedure needed to be written. How would we address this if we were questioned? Having documented information, objective evidence to show that we're meeting a requirement. So the first thing I would do is to determine whether or not you want to implement on your own or you want to bring in a consultant to help.
Okay. And how long does this process typically take?
So it typically takes, I say, between 12 and 18 months. It really all depends on how fast the client wants to get this moving, because they are the ones that are doing the work. If they're hiring a consultant, the consultant is kind of laying out the framework for it, but the actual content of any of the procedures is written by that client, because they know their system the best. And one of the things that I like to say in implementations is we're not rebuilding your business, we're building your quality system around the business that exists. So when people hear about implementation in 12 to 18 months, they tend to get a little nervous, but each company has some sort of system in place because they need to, right? Because their customers require a certain level of consistency, quality, delivery, those types of things. So it's, it really depends on what they want to, how fast they want to move along with the project.
Okay, and so once certified, what does the recertification process look like and what's the timetable around that?
So it's a 3-year process. So a certification body would come in and they would audit, and that would be considered the initial certification. The next year, they will come back and they will do what's called a surveillance audit. They will do a portion of the standard and go through your system again, just like they had done prior to, for you to get the certification. Then they come back a second year and they call that a surveillance 2. And they do the other half of the standard that didn't get done on year 1. And then they come back the third year, and that is considered to be the recertification year, meaning that they will audit your entire system over again. So the idea behind the surveillance is to make sure that people are complying, with their procedures and not leaving too much time in between a certification and a recertification audit.
How can CONNSTEP help?
So CONNSTEP has various programs available to people, to manufacturers in Connecticut. And one of the classes that they put on is called QEP, and it's a Quality Essentials program. It's a great class because it covers various topics such as metrology, internal auditing, what leadership is responsible for. So it gives a very good overview of what quality management systems are about and who's responsible for certain things. And it just, anybody that's coming into quality for the first time or, just needs a refresher, the QEP class is a great class to take.
Thank you, Rachele, for answering those commonly asked questions, and thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you.